Hello, everybody, and welcome here tonight to Irwindale Speedway in the Thunderstruck Super Series for the ORRL 125 here in the late model series. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here tonight, as always, with Jeff Paisley. And Jeff, well, I guess the first question I got to ask you for the night is, well, we head into tonight with Jason Warren winning 4 straight races to open the season. What do these guys got to do to beat him?
I don't know, man. I mean, he has just been super tough. I think he's going to have a little bad luck, but we do have Donald Clark here tonight, which ought to challenge him real good. And I think some of these other guys will catch up a bit with their setups. I don't know this track very well. Haven't raced here myself, so it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, they can hold it all together. It seemed a little loose out there in a little bit of drive I did on the track just a minute ago.
Yeah, this racetrack, I mean, it kind of presents itself as a racetrack where even if you have a better setup than, say, someone in front of you, I really feel like even with the worst setup, or maybe a little less competent setup, you can still hold off somebody behind you with how tough this racetrack is. That high line is going to be where you want to be. And, well, what you're going to see tonight, folks, is that inside line does not work very well when you're racing around each other. I don't know about restarts. Last night it was okay in the modified cars. We'll see how it is here in the super late models. There's your race information as we get underway in qualifying here. Half-mile racetrack, 100 degrees is the track temperature, and we're going to see that number fall as the race continues. Not not by a lot, but it will drop at least a couple of digits throughout the beginning of this race down under 100 degrees, which, Jeff, you got to think that these drivers are happy to hear or happy to see because these drivers are used to racing at the nighttime. And so to get a daytime race kind of throws a little bit of a curveball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they start out with it being a little light outside. So I think some of them, their setups will be a little looser for them at the beginning and tighten up as it gets, darker. And I think at that point we're going to see who has what, because I think we could see some guys charging up and getting up front and whatnot early. With the sunlight, but like we see with Charlotte when they do the 600, some of the guys up front in the daylight are not even around in the dark. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes the cars tonight.
Well, thankfully, these drivers shouldn't see any nighttime. I don't think they should, anyways. They didn't last night. We'll see. But even if they don't see any nighttime, still, as it gets later on in the evening in sim, that track is going to get a little bit cooler. And while it won't be as cool as it would be if it were nighttime, it still will get cooler, give them a little bit more grip. And that, like you said, once that grip starts to come in a little bit more, going to be interesting to see who maybe rises to the top. But man, I mean, rising to the top, that's all you're going to see is people going to that top line. And man, it was tough for these drivers last night who raced in the modified series. I think it's going to be even tougher in these cars. Let's head over to the schedule real quick while we have a little bit of time here left in qualifying. As we bring you your schedule. And before we go over what tracks we're coming up to, some information on the series just in case you are new. Field is always capped at 20 cars. Top 15 in qualifying advance immediately to the main race. The remaining 5 spots will be determined by a B main, which we will have tonight. All races are open setup, one faster pair, no extra sets of tires, and I mean, usually that's a problem in its own, even when we're at nighttime races. But I mean, during the day here at Irwindale Speedway, where tires are going to wear even more, that's going to make that no extra sets of tires even more of an issue than it usually is.
Oh yeah, and definitely. I mean, if it's going to be light all race, I was thinking it might get into the sunset area, but even if it doesn't, I mean, that's going to play even harder into some of these guys' hands when it comes into racing this. Because if it's going to be kind of hot to start, you're definitely going to have to be careful early. You cause yourself some trouble early, it's going to be hard to get through that pack again coming back up on this track. Because, like you were saying, that low line just really is rough. It's rough on tires. It shoots you up towards the top when you dive down into it. It's really kind of flat, so the high line will be the dominant line.
Absolutely, it will. And we head to a track where the high line will not be the dominant line, and that is Martinsville, Speedway next week, but got some racing to do this week as the B main is about to get underway. They're actually starting to roll off here, and we're going to get you your grid for this B main real quick. Sam Wetstein going to lead this group of 4 off with Frank Barbary in second, Fry Hubbard third, and Logan Sturgeon your 4th and final car in this B main. So every car you see on track right now will make the main race. It's all going to be about positioning yourself the best you can, starting from 16th through 19th.
Yeah, and all these cars are going to make it into the race. They're just positioning for where they're going to start.
So nobody going to, have to be desperate enough to try to make it into the race. It's all going to be about getting some racing experience for these 20 laps that we're going to have. And then obviously, like you said, it's not a big difference, but you'd much rather start 16th than 19th. That gives you a little bit of an advantage already once you get into that race. As much of an advantage as you can get.
And we get a little extra racing with this one.
Yes, we do.
20-lap shootout. And bragging rights. I guess you could get bragging rights. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you definitely want to get bragging rights of winning the B main. And, well, then you kind of have that, I wouldn't say target from the broadcast, but you kind of, we keep an eye on the winner of the B main to see if, maybe the B main winner can win the main as well. So that's always fun to keep an eye on. The green flag is out, and lap 1 is complete. Sam Wetstein leads the first lap, and the race is on with Fry Hubbard and Frank Barbary.
Yeah, they're kind of fighting it out back there for that 2nd and 3rd spot.
And
Sam's able to hold his own up high, and he kind of pulls away a little bit.
Logan Sturgeon down on the bottom as he is stopped down there on the apron, but should be able to get back going. We'll see. Hopefully the caution doesn't apply for that. Yeah. The green flag stays out, and he'll get back out on track. As we continue racing side by side for the 2nd position. Speaking of holding their own, Fry Hubbard making that inside work for now as they get really close.
Yeah, this track you really got to do that slide job and hope that guy doesn't run into the back of you.
As Fry Hubbard, impressive move on the inside, and maybe that sets a precedent, for the race. I mean, even if you're not racing in this right now, the guys who qualified in the top 15 are watching this and saying, well, hey, Fry Hubbard made a pass on the inside, something, we thought we might not see. So not only experience for these drivers in here, but those drivers that are already in watching this right now are keeping track of what just happened.
Oh, without a doubt, they're watching it with a very intent eye on seeing what's working, what's not, what lines seem to be the fastest. Although this track is kind of a giveaway with it being the top line now.
As Fry Hubbard settles into second, and he starts to creep towards your race leader, Sam Wetstein, as we're 7 laps in. Now make it 8 laps into this heat race, or B main, whatever you want to call it.
I think now's where we're going to see whether or not that bottom line can work at all for cars that are running pretty even. It looks like Fry might be a little bit faster, Mr. Hubbard, and he's going to give him a race for that victory in this one.
Yeah, he's going to peek to the inside, get to that left rear quarter panel. Not going to be able to make the move out of turn 2 as we're approaching halfway in this B main. 3 drivers of the 4 still on the lead lap. Logan Sturgeon had that slip up, but again, lucky for him, we only have 4 drivers in here, so even with that, kind of mishap, he's going to make the main race. He's just going to have to start last. As Fry Hubbard dives to the inside, and we're going to see how well it sticks. And, yeah, you just see Sam Wetstein clears him back. Fry Hubbard definitely looks like he has more speed right now. Close, racing some contact between the 2.
Oh, they both saved it, though. Good job, guys.
Thankfully, these cars are able to beat and bang a little bit without spinning out, as both drivers do a great job at not spinning. But I think Fry's going to make a little bit more contact. He stays off the left rear quarter panel. We got some close racing in this B main.
Oh, he's got to run this time. But he has to cut it so low and cut his speed so much. Sam still holds that outside.
Yes, he does. Side by side through 3 and 4, lap 13. Moving on to lap 14. And they continue side by side. And you see Fry Hubbard has to check up in order not to wash up into that 98 machine.
This has turned into quite a race.
Really has. And we're going to get at least 5 or 6 more laps of it as Fry Hubbard looks to win the B main and put himself in that 16th starting position for the race.
Not if Sam has anything to say about it. He's
Yeah,
holding it.
Absolutely. He wants that 16th spot and the B main win. And Fry Hubbard getting so close to that left rear quarter panel, trying to side draft as much as he can at a track like this. As these two, while racing, have run away from Frank Barbary by 2.5 seconds, and it continues to build. And Sam Wetstein, I think he's going to finally be able to wear out Fry Hubbard, and he's going to hold on to that lead spot, and needs to do it for 3 more laps, though.
Yeah, I think Fry may have used his goodie off his tires.
Yeah, that's one thing you're going to have to be really careful about in the main feature, is to not burn off those tires too early. As, you know, this race only 20 laps, so you can really go all out, but that main race, 125 laps, so really cannot burn off your stuff 20 laps into a 125 lap race. Is Fry Hubbard going to try to make a move as it comes down to 2 laps to go? They'll collect the white flag this time around.
He just couldn't complete that. He just came up too quick and had to cut his speed as not to get into Sam.
Yeah, this is a perfect example. Sam maybe not faster, but doing a nice job at not making mistakes and holding on to that outside line. Fry going to dive down to the apron, out of turn 4 to the checkered flag. Sam Wetstein wins the B main.
Wow, what a race broke out right there, huh? You got to love that. That was great racing.
That was magnificent. 20-lap race, about a 15-lap race between those two, and Sam Wetstein wins the B main. Fry Hubbard a close second, 5/1000th of a second.
If people thought these guys were going to come out here and just coast around because they already knew they were going to be in the show, obviously they did not know this particular series. These guys race hard, and they want to win any race that they're in.
Oh, absolutely they do. And I'm going to go real quick and off my spotter that I forgot to turn off in iRacing while we have a warm-up.
Yeah, I've had to learn to do that every time, too, if I've been practicing.
Usually I use Crew Chief, and so I don't have to worry about it, but I used my spotter earlier on and forgot about it. But we're all good now.
It does it on Crew Chief, too. It, like, locks onto one of the cars acting like it's you.
Oh, okay.
And it'll spot for you for that other car.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Oh, man, you think if you weren't in the car, they wouldn't spot, but apparently not.
Yeah, it lets me know pretty quick, like once we get going, that it's that way, and I find myself scrambling to turn it off while we're broadcasting.
Oh, yeah. Well, thankfully, I haven't done that too many times, but when you hear the spotter go green flag when the race starts, you're like, oh man, I forgot to turn that off.
Yeah, fortunately, it doesn't bleed through to the broadcast, but it's in my earphones.
Yeah, it is for me, unfortunately. As these guys, about 30 more seconds of warm up, and well, we kind of got cut short, so we'll look at it real quick. The schedule is we head to Martinsville Speedway for 125 laps next week. North Wilkesboro, Iowa, Bristol, Richmond. That is the last of the NASCAR tracks that we visit. And then the Bullring and Five Flag Speedway, where we will crown a champion. And speaking of champion, early points leader in the championship, Jason Warren, currently a 35-point lead after 4 races. And Well, that includes 4 wins. So somebody just looking to dethrone him tonight. One of them being his teammate, Donald Clark. I believe Kyle Martinson, a teammate of theirs, might be in here too as well. Yes, he is. So you got 3 teammates there that we always know are going to be fast. And then we always seem to get some of those, 2 or 3 drivers that are up there racing those guys. Not a surprise, but battling the big dogs, you could say, in that 09 race team that are always seem to be blistering fast. Speaking of those 3, I guess that kind of transitions me right into the grid because I just saw it for the first time. And we're going to bring you guys the race grid as all 3 of those guys filling up the top 3 spots after qualifying. Jason Warren with the pole spot. Donald Clark in second. Kyle Martinson third. Cody Pennell gets the 4th spot here tonight with Terry Bates rounding out the top 5. David Locke Jr. in 6th. Josh Oswald 7th. Elliot Longenecker 8th. Samuel Roberts 9th. And Shannon Wilder rounding out the top 10. P11 goes to Charlie Gates with 12th going to Aaron Ward. 13th, Michael Swink with Jeremy Brelt. In 14th, William Griffith 15th. Sam Wetstein, your B main winner, starting this one in 16th. Fry Hubbard 17th. Frank Barbary 18th. And Logan Sturgeon going to round out the field here tonight in the 19th position. We get set for 125 laps here tonight. And one thing the entire field did not want to see, and that is your points leader and 4 race winner so far starting out up front. We're going to see if Donald Clark up there, Kyle Martinson, Cody Pennell, Terry Bates, your top 5. See if any of those guys have anything for Jason Warren early on. As for the first start of the race, they will go by the iRacing green flag. So, Jeff, I would think that's your best opportunity to take the lead away is when you know everybody's going, because once you get your first yellow, then the leader has the choice of when to go, and it's a little bit harder to match the restart.
Yeah, you are going to have to go, but you don't want to use up your tires. I'm guessing there's no tires in this one like there has been for the rest of the season. So what you got is what you got. You got to save it and use it when it's necessary. And it does look like we've lost a couple of the drivers that will not make a start. William Griffith and Michael Swink both look like they are out.
As the green flag out, and speaking of good jump, Donald Clark on the outside, Jason Warren on the inside. Jason not able to get a good run. They're wrecking behind him in the wall. That's Cody Pennell in the 9. He qualified 4th. Now going to fall back all the way to 7th. They're 3 wide through turn 4 to complete the first lap.
Boy, back in the pack, man, they are just going at it. They're trying to get their moves out of the way, get as many spots as they can before the tires start giving up.
Donald Clark out to the lead spot over Jason Warren as they continue to race in the back of the pack. The 10 gets into the 11. That's Shannon Wilder into Samuel Roberts, and the caution is out. I would have to imagine. I didn't have my graphic up. There we go. Caution is out, the first one of the night.
Yeah, it looks like Sam Wetstein might have got into it.
As you see Shannon Wilder getting into the back of Samuel Roberts. So that'll be an EOL, I have to imagine, for that 10 car. And a rough start for Cody Pennell, who started 4th and got involved in some contact, and that has him all the way back to 7th.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but at least it's early enough to try to make a recovery. Sam Wetstein, unfortunately, got caught up in that as well, so he's going to have to charge back up.
I believe it was Samuel Roberts, unless Sam Wetstein was caught up in it.
Yeah, I think Sam's going to be able to hold his position in 14th.
Oh,
after all
okay.
of it.
So
I was going to say, because I think that other car turned around enough, and then the caution came out before he actually hit him.
Gotcha. So Samuel Roberts is down pit road. Going to try to fix some of that damage. And, well, Donald Clark, I spoke of it before the start. that this was the best opportunity to try to take the lead away from him, and Donald Clark did exactly that on the outside, and Jason Warren had to fall back to second but held on to it. Now going to have to start on the front row, but the outside of the front row.
Yeah, and it won't be the same for Jason as it was with Donald, because that was to start on green, so that was kind of how that first start goes. But now it's going to be on the leader, so Donald Clark should be able to get just a slight jump over Jason on this. Maybe keep Jason up to where he can get in front of him before too long.
Yeah, that was a wild restart. We had 3 wide, maybe even a little bit of 4 wide. Definitely not where you want to be here, but most of it was able to actually kind of figure itself out. But obviously that contact there, bringing out the first caution on lap 3.
Well, I was thinking that it might bring in some cautions tonight with this track when I was driving around it. Just by the way that bottom doesn't stick, people are going to bleed up. I was thinking they might tag some of these guys.
Yeah, last night the modified here, only 4 cautions, but a lot more grip in those race cars. So going to be interesting to see if these guys can get single filed out, if they can start to, get a start of a long green flag run. We'll see. Terry Bates has moved up into 3rd, right behind your race leader, Donald Clark. Pace car's off. Now it's up to Donald Clark whenever he wants to go. And he is off the green flag out. Great jump. That's going to have him and Jason Warren clear. The race remains for 3rd as Kyle Martinson on the outside. He restarted 4th, but more importantly, he had that outside line already, so he's able to pass Terry Bates for 3rd. And Fry Hubbard, wow, he started this one in 17th, now battling for 7th.
I tell you, when it's a track that is not commonly raced by everybody, if he's got a niche of going low and figuring it out early, he can be able to get by a ton of cars, of which he already has.
Oh, and, well, a mistake from David Locke Jr. opens the door for Fry Hubbard to move up into that 7th position on the outside, and now David Locke Jr. trying to hold on over Elliott Longenecker, not able to do so. Now there's Shannon Wilder, who doesn't look like he did get an EOL for that wreck.
My question would be, with that move from 17th to 7th, did Fry hurt his tires running those live lanes?
Some of those positions probably made up from that wreck, and so, yeah, you definitely got to be worried about his tires, maybe a little bit, but I think he'll be okay as for now. As the race for 3rd, Kyle Martinson slips up. Terry Bates going to take advantage up to 3rd. And wow, Kyle Martinson down to the apron, actually. And something going on with that 07 machine, I guess. They continue to race. That's Cody Pennell on the outside, Elliott Longenecker on the inside. The 9 and the 5, that is the battle for 6th. Gonna have to try to figure out what happened to that 07 machine, as he's now stopped on pit road in his pit stall. And go back up front, Donald Clark, Jason Warren. Only a couple of car lengths in between those two, but already a 2.5 seconds over Terry Bates in 3rd.
It does look like Michael Swink was able to reconnect, and he's back in the race. He's 5 laps down.
Hey, never give up. You never know what could happen. As they continue to race back here, and now another car slowed down. That's Shannon Wilder, who was just fighting for 10th. Now falling back to 13th there on the inside in that 10 machine. Sam Wetstein on his outside now. And the racing up front is kind of, as Logan Sturgeon gets loose there, 3 wide. I was about to say, the racing up front has kind of gotten stretched out, but not here in the back of the pack.
Oh, no, they are going for it. I thought they were going to wad them up right there for a second.
Yeah, these cars are getting really loose right now, and that could spell some disaster here soon if they keep getting that loose in front of other drivers. as Logan Sturgeon starting this one in 19th up to 14th as he passes Frank Barbary. "20 laps now into this race. Donald Clark, your race leader, and Kyle Martinson. Oh, I thought he was coming out of pit road. He's still down there, so something going on for that 07 machine, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it could be because he's still online there. So he's still in the car.
Jason Warren moving down to the bottom here, as he does have, free track to move up off of the bottom. Unlike when you're racing somebody, you can't come up to the wall. But right now he is, single file, so he can run that bottom line without kind of stalling out. But still, that high line definitely the place to be.
Yeah, that was pretty much going to be a given, I think, when just from practicing how that was, and I think the history of this track has always been high line. Kind of like O'Reilly's, I would guess, except bigger.
Yeah, definitely is. Move back a little bit more in the pack. Fry Hubbard in 5th now after starting 17th. See his Elliott Longenecker behind him in 6th, trying to challenge for that position. So already a top 5 run for that 14 machine after almost winning that B main. And well, he's looking to, he didn't win the B main, but he's still looking to win the main feature, which is ultimately the most important race of the night.
Yeah, he is definitely the big mover. Fry Hubbard, 17th to 5th.
But Elliott Longenecker looking to challenge for that spot here.
I have to give a shout out to Jeremy Brault also in that 74 car. He has gone from 14th to 7th, so he's been one on the move as well.
Elliott Longenecker, though, a strong car. I thought he'd get to Fry Hubbard's outside there, but with no luck. Now he's going to try to explore other options as he moves to the inside, and Fry Hubbard maybe got a little loose, maybe just gave him the spot. I'm not sure, but a little too easy for Elliott Longenecker there as Fry Hubbard gives up that spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see Fry getting sideways or anything, so he might have just not got into it thinking he was going to come up and just didn't want any issues this early.
After a caution on lap 3, a great run here.
Yeah, and there's a long way to go also. Of course, a caution changes everything if we get one of those.
Absolutely. This is about the most racing on track right now. This is from 5th place on back to about 8th or 9th. Elliott Longenecker now leading this group as we come around to lap 30.
Jason Warren staying with Donald Clark there. He's still under 0.4 of a second.
A little onboard here with our race leader.
Yeah, these guys that have these good setups and are really good on these tracks, you just don't see them using that wheel very much. There's not a lot of turn to it, so they're not really burning up their front tires. I've tried to figure out how to do it, but I can't seem to get the car to turn with it like that.
It's like this car may be a little bit tight, but I could be wrong. We have seen a lot of cars loose here tonight, so he could just be controlling this car really well to make it look not as loose as other cars. But man, you look in that rearview mirror right now, it is pretty full of Jason Warren, about half a second difference now as they start to go through some lap traffic, and this is where it gets interesting. As wrecking in front of him, the caution is out.
Oh my.
As Logan Sturgeon, wow, that's basically the same spin he had in the B main. Kind of right to the exact spot, so maybe turn 4 not treating Logan Sturgeon very well tonight.
No,
at least the
it
exit.
seems to be a little tricky. Because that banking will kind of throw you off. You got to be really ginger on coming out of that corner when you're low.
Yeah, and just getting back on the gas, you got to be patient. If you stab the throttle, that can happen. And unfortunately for Logan, with that, he's going to go a lap down, and no reason for these leaders to pit, so he's going to be stuck a lap down.
And on the same tires.
Yeah, that's the thing about a spin out, you know. When you don't have an extra set of tires and you spin, that's going to hurt those tires, and there's no replacing them. So a spin, it can really hurt you here tonight, no matter what part of the race you're in.
I always liked them having a second set of tires, but because that could pull in some different strategies. But it's just one long played out strategy the way that we're running it now with one set of tires. The only reason why you would pit is if you shorted yourself in gas or you had some repairs to do.
Yeah, the idea for the commissioners in this series was that, you know, a lot of your local super late model tracks, you know, that you see super late models on, unless you blow a tire, you're not changing any tires throughout the race. So that was kind of the idea when they had that rule for this series.
Oh yeah, we see that at our local tracks here, definitely, because there's just not enough room to have good pit road and whatnot. Out in a little grass field in the middle of the infield.
Right. So with that, a caution, we're going to have another restart. And like you said, that throws a wrench into things. We get stacked up 2x2 once again. And, well, everything not as calm as it may have been. And when I say calm, I mean less calm. Things are usually not calm in the race car, but when you stack them 2x2, once again, that heart rate goes up even more.
Oh yeah, because you're all bunched up again. You never know if somebody's gonna, you know, not realize you're getting on the brake as early as you are going into the corner, and they can cream you from behind pretty easy. And you got to be careful not to cream somebody in front of you when they stop a little sooner than you do.
As the green flag back out, Donald Clark, Jason Warren gets single filed out. Terry Bates behind him in third, going to slide up in front of Josh Oswald, who's gotten up to fourth now. As they race behind him, that's Fry Hubbard and Jeremy Briault. Both kind of big movers in this race now, racing each other for the 6th position. Jeremy Briault going to lose that spot, but be able to slide up in front of David Locke Jr. So a nice move there from the 74. Now David Locke going to move down to the inside. We've seen it get single filed out for the lead, but no shortage of racing in the middle of the pack to the back of the pack.
No, and really early on, they're just really going at it, almost kind of pack racing in some instances with when you get a slower car that's up front and staying up high, get somebody diving down low, can't get by him, but stuck there, and then you end up getting 2x2 for a little while.
As once again, just like before the caution, Donald Clark, Jason Warren 1-2 with Terry Bates in third, as just about a car length separate your front two right now. And
although those packs don't work for long on this kind of track.
Yeah, eventually it single files out. Now maybe they still stay close, but not side by side as we've seen it. And, well, if we go back to about fourth, actually third, one big long line of cars right now. The car touches the wall a little bit. I believe that's Jeremy Briault, but he gets it out of the wall. So, yeah, this is Terry Bates in third and a long line behind him starting with Josh Oswald. As he holds on to that third spot for now. And we go back to the lead real quick. You got to think to yourself, these are two teammates right now. And so is Jason Warren just kind of sitting behind Donald Clark, riding for now, trying to save those tires? Or is he hungry to get that lead as soon as he can? I mean, you know Jason Warren and how he is. He wants to lead the race and lead every lap. But specifically, at least with the teammate, you got to think about just kind of riding out some laps right now with about 78 laps left.
Yeah, just I think a lot of the guys are like in save mode. They just are kind of trying not to lose too much. Stay in a line, keep yourself good for later. Hopefully there'll be a caution that can tighten you up a little bit.
So as those two remain close, and Terry Bates starting to put a little bit more distance on Josh Oswald. Not much, but a little bit at least. As the caution is out, third one of the night, Samuel Roberts looks like he's around. There's Samuel in the 11. Oh, he gets loose trying to avoid the 9 car. Surprisingly, that brings out a caution. It was probably because of how much his car got turned around, because he never stopped on track. And, well, when you go below that white line, usually they don't throw the caution for that immediately. Let's go back and go on a little bit of an onboard here.
Yeah, it'll click you through with a caution if you get just enough sideways.
Oh, he was loose just on the brakes, maybe a little bit of a wheel hop.
I think he might have been trying to keep it off of the Red Bull car and just pinched himself a little too far and caused himself to spin.
That car went around, bringing out our third caution of the race here on lap 51 of 125 for the ORRL 125. Take a quick second as Logan Sturgeon gets his lap back. He'll be back on the lead lap. To thank the sponsors of the series, Mesa Motorsports, Hitman Motorsports, and Magic Mike Motorsports for all sponsoring the Thunderstruck Super Series. Not only the Wednesday night modified, but also the Thursday night Super Late Model Series. Joaquin Meza, also a commissioner or admin of the Thunderstruck Super Series. So shout outs to all those guys. Josh Oswald, who actually runs the series.
Yeah, a bunch of great guys. I've enjoyed talking to them all.
You see them all down kind of below the groove, just trying to cool off those tires as much as they can. As we are creeping towards halfway here tonight. 16 cars on the lead lap, with Logan Sturgeon getting back on the lead lap. Going to be interesting to see on this restart. Can Jason Warren do anything about the jumps that Donald Clark has gotten the last 2 restarts?
Yeah, I would say that the race has kind of been playing out similar to how we would have thought maybe. I think Fry Hubbard has kind of gone a whole lot farther up than we might have thought he might have been able to pull off with 50 laps down, but he's been moving real good. And so hopefully we'll be able to see some more guys from the back continue to move up. Sam came in and he won the transfer race. And he's moved himself up to 9th after starting.
Oh, 16th. And behind him, we got a spinner in the grass. David Locke Jr. Or wait, no, that's David Locke Jr. Terry Bates was in the grass. That was your 3rd place driver.
Oh, man, that's big news.
Now, let's try to go back, and the caution is out. Go back and see what happened here. Terry Bates there in the 8. Oh, he just spins the tires. Maybe let's go on an onboard here, see if he maybe missed a shift.
Yeah, that looked more like maybe a
he just spun the tires. Hey, if we listen here real quick. Yeah, he just gassed it up, turning left, and that spun that car down to the grass. That didn't bring out the caution, so I'm interested in what actually did.
I wonder if when he came back up on the track it did, because he was still a bit sideways on the track.
Yeah, I'm not sure. David Locke Jr. himself was down on the apron. Did he ever come to a stop? No. Green flag still waving there. So yeah, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, the caution did come out. And David Locke Jr. down pit road. And that will allow Michael Swink to get one of his laps back. So that'll put him, I believe, 4 laps down now. So, I mean, still time in this race. If we have enough cautions, he can get back on the lead lap. But he's gonna have to get lucky with the amount of cautions we'll need.
Definitely. Michael Swink is loving it. He went from 5 laps down. Now he's 3 laps down. He's the first car a lap down.
Oh, 3. Okay, so he's not 4.
Nope, he's 3 now. He got one of the. He's got a couple of the lucky dogs so far. He just needs him to keep having some trouble, and he'll be doing good as long as he can stay out of it.
As it looks like we'll be going back to green around halfway into this one, maybe a few laps before, or a lap before, we'll find out. And with that self-spin of Terry Bates, Josh Oswald moves up to 3rd, Fry Hubbard 4th, Elliott Longenecker 5th, Sam Wetstein up to the 6th position. So you have your 1-2 finishers in the B main now in 6th and 4th. Going to be starting in front and behind each other.
Wow, yeah, this is a good showing for those guys. And it does look like David Locke Jr. has got out of his car, so whatever happened is done.
All right, pace car's off. Restart just shy of halfway. Donald Clark off. A good jump for Jason Warren, but not good enough. As side by side for 3rd, Fry Hubbard on the outside. Not able to get there, so he'll stay in 4th. Back in,
going for it back there.
Yeah, back in the pack, Charlie Gates in the 55 there in that blue and red machine. The iRacing car side by side with Shannon Wilder for 8th. He makes that pass.
I am thinking these guys had better start thinking about making it their go time because we're getting to be about halfway.
And here's Terry Bates back here in 13th after self-spinning out of 3rd. So, man, a good race going for that 8 machine is just gotten a lot tougher as he's back here stuck in traffic. He's just going to have to be patient and work his way through as these drivers continue to battle each other, because if he tries to push it too fast, might end up getting involved in a wreck. So just got to be patient here. Oh, and we got a driver going around, Frank Barbary.
Oh,
a little bit of contact, but he stays going, and he's not going to stop on track, so the green flag stays out.
Wow.
There it is. That must have been maybe thrown by the admins or the race control. Oh, no, it shows Michael Swink around. Yeah, there's an actual wreck. So let's check out the wreck that brings out the caution, and then we'll check out what happened to Frank Barbary.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Michael Swink. Oh, and he... Wow, okay, so it did... Oh, okay.
Oh, he didn't hit anything, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, no, here's Jeremy Briall.
Well, good. If he didn't hit anything, that means he'll probably get another lap back.
Oh, this is what brings out the caution here. Jeremy Briall around.
Taco Bell car.
Yeah, nice looking paint scheme.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He was running pretty decently today.
That car done by Smeal Racing Designs. They always do a fantastic job putting paint schemes together. Let's check out what happened to Frank Barbary. He didn't bring out the caution, but let's see what happened here. Ooh, contact from Aaron Ward, and pretty hard contact at that. And luckily for Aaron Ward, if they do have race control here tonight, that wreck did not bring out the caution, so you will not get an EOL if we do have race control here tonight. And these cautions just bring on a lot of chaos with putting all these drivers back together.
So Michael Swink did get the wave around since he was able to dodge that, and he's 2 laps down now. Steadily
for
getting
him.
there.
Yeah, just 2 more cautions. As long as he's not involved in the wreck, we'll be back on the lead lap. And, well, we still, you know, we're just over halfway now, so pretty good opportunity for him to try to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, you really got to give a shout out to Fry Hubbard. That's 17th to 3rd now. Amazing.
And if he can win this race, what a showing that would be.
That's for sure. He's obviously showing he's got a good car, but does he have anything for Jason Warren and Donald Clark?
That's always kind of the question that you pose. Does anybody have anything for these 09 race shop guys? And that's going to be answered as we continue here, because we have 2 of them up in the top 2. And now we see Fry Hubbard, who has shown a lot of speed here early on. You get a chance at him.
I guess an even bigger question then might even be, is Jason Warren got anything for Donald Clark?
Yeah, I mean, he's stuck with him. It's really tough to pass. And so you got to think that maybe it's going to take a slip up from Donald Clark, and you don't see that too very often. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen in these last 55 laps. See if Jason Warren, first of all, can maybe execute on this restart and not have to pass Donald Clark on the inside. But if he's not able to and Donald Clark gets a good jump, how is Jason Warren going to try to make that pass on the inside?
Yeah, is he going to dive it and try to do a slide job? And then if he does that, will Donald Clark kind of back out and do the turnaround?
Yeah, we saw Fry Hubbard in that B main as the green flag back out. Both of your top 2, per usual, getting clear, as Fry Hubbard in 3rd going to try to stay in front of Josh Oswald. And he does. We saw Fry Hubbard in that B main really stick with Sam Wetz down on the inside. He was never able to make the pass, but he was able to at least stay on his inside consistently. And, well, it's going to be fun to see if Jason Warren can do the same. And not just him, you know, as we look through the field, can anybody really make consistent moves on the inside? We haven't seen much of it yet. We've seen a lot of the passes either come from mistake or from, you know, making a pass on the outside. So it's just really tough as the caution out on the front stretch. Frank Barbary, Logan Sturgeon around.
Big wreck. Yeah, that was a hard
Michael
one.
Swink was right behind that wreck. We'll have to see if he was a part of it or not. If not, that's 2 wrecks he has narrowly avoided. Oh, man. It all started. Let's
Yeah, that's
go back here.
that hurt.
Go to the 11 of Samuel Roberts, who unfortunately has been involved in a couple of wrecks. As he gets loose, Terry Bates some contact. Logan Sturgeon gets a lot of it. Frank Barbary. It looks like Michael Swink slowly moves his way through the carnage. And, well, he's going to be 1 lap down now after he gets that lucky dog. And there he goes. Oh, I thought he was. Maybe not. There he goes. Maybe. There he goes. All right. And that Taco Bell car has stuck in my mind. It's made me kind of hungry for Taco Bell at this point.
Yeah, no doubt. One of them steak chalupa supremes would be good.
Hey, those you can't sleep on the 5-layer burritos they got there.
Yeah, I always like the chicken quesadilla. And, well, I mean, there's not a whole lot that I don't like at Taco Bell, really.
What I don't like about Taco Bell is sometimes the effects on my body, per se. Taco Bell does. That's about the only part I don't like.
Yeah, it can. I mean, we haven't been eating a lot of it because we've been staying off the carbs with the keto thing. But when we do, man, it's a lovely day. Nacho Bel Grande.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Donald Clark, dominant so far here tonight, led every lap after taking the lead on the initial start of the race from your pole sitter, Jason Warren. But these two, no matter the order, have been your 1-2 all night long so far.
Well, this weekend I'm gonna go to the Sonoma race for the Cup Series.
I wish I
And
could join you, man. That's a fun
yeah,
racetrack.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And we're gonna do the ARCA race on Saturday too. So that ought to be interesting. I thought Xfinity was supposed to be there too. I thought there were supposed to be 2 races on Saturday, but I'm only seeing one.
No, it's just Cup. I believe Xfinity is
They're in Mid Ohio.
Mid Ohio, yeah. So I think the Cup cars are the only cars from the top 3 series that actually visit Sonoma.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought there was one on a Saturday and I know we have the ARCA tickets. I just thought I originally read that there was another race too, but I don't see it.
Green flag is out. No, they are trying to avoid each other, I guess, back here. That is Charlie Gates, who is really low on track on that restart and slowed down. As we go back up to the race for the lead, Donald Clark, Jason Warren, Fry Hubbard still your top 3. Josh Oswald 4th. And look at that 9 machine go. Cody Pinnell, a part of a tiny wreck earlier. It wasn't a wreck that brought out a caution, but it sent him all the way back to, I believe, 7th or 8th. So he's trying to work back up inside the top 5 there in that 9 machine. Shannon Wilder, a dive to the bottom in 7th. And a really nice move. He's not going to be able to make the pass, but came up basically even with that 9 machine. And race for the lead is on. Jason Warren looking to the inside. Only 42 laps to go, and 42 laps can tick by pretty fast. So it does look like Jason Warren is choosing this time now as kind of that go time.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like it's going to need to start moving because everybody's just so even.
And these two, speaking of even, yeah, these two are just so even right now. You'd maybe argue that Jason Warren may be a little bit faster than Donald Clark right now, but Donald Clark, I mean, we saw it in the Beam Main. Sam Wetstein was maybe a little bit slower than Fry Hubbard, but being in front of him was able to hold that spot.
Yeah, I think Jason Warren has got his hands full with going to have to try to get by. He's going to try. You just have to scrub so much speed off when you go down low like that.
Yeah, and I mean, Donald Clark, and not just Donald Clark, but anybody at this track that's leading the race, I mean, you have the advantage, obviously, being in the lead, but you can just sit there and let that person behind you kind of wear out their tires while you just run a consistent line. It doesn't even have to be all that fast. As long as you run a consistent line and don't slip up, you can really cause that person behind you to scrub off their tires while you're just being patient, maybe.
Yeah, and I think maybe Jason is being patient, just kind of riding there. He's making him have to think, though, for sure, being right on his bumper like that. But will Donald Clark be able to stay flawless in what he's doing? Haven't seen him really make any mistake.
And you don't see him make that many mistakes all that often, so if he makes one here tonight, it would be pretty surprising, but you just never know. When you have someone on your back bumper like that, mistakes are always kind of not an option, but it can always be made when you see somebody fill up your mirror, because you might focus on that a little too much other than, you know, just focusing out your front windshield. So Don Clark so far has been near perfect, but has to hold on for another 33 laps as we move back. They are still racing a bunch back here. This is for the 5th position. Josh Oswald now clear. Behind them, that's Cody Pinnell, side by side with Shannon Wilder, as Cody Pinnell holds on to 6th. $32 laps to go in this one. Donald Clark, Jason Warren, teammates. Who's going to be the one to win? Is Donald Clark going to be able to be perfect for another 31 laps as they continue to race back here as Fry Hubbard holds on to third. Sorry, I saw it said Jason Warren pitting, and I know he wasn't pitting, but usually that means you're down on the apron, and I was afraid he got loose or something, but he's still up there. Obviously, you see in that 32 machine battling.
Yeah, and he's not
Caution.
really letting off. Oh.
Looks like Terry Bates went around, and man, a great race through the first half has just gone worse and worse for that 8 machine. He was alone, so it looks like just a self-spin. And yeah, out of 4, we've seen that from plenty of drivers where they get loose out of turn 4, and well, once you spin around, start spinning around, it's really tough to save here.
Yeah, and some tracks are worse than others. Myrtle Beach does that to me too, coming down that front stretch.
Yeah, I
Give
mean,
it that gas, and it just wants to hook left.
yeah, I mean, you know, a track like Five Flags, our championship race, where you never really stop turning out of turn 4 down the front stretch. And so if you hit the gas too hard, spin those tires too much, it's just you spin out, and it's really tough to save once you do. And, well, look at that. Michael Swink with 28 laps to go, back on the lead lap.
He has really worked hard. He did not say die when he's got booted off the internet and got back in 5 laps down. Now here he is. This is what sticking to it will be, and I think it will pay off for him. Hopefully he'll be able to get some more of these guys and even get better position.
Yeah, he will start the end of the longest line behind the lap cars, so he's going to have to make some passes that aren't for position before he can start to fight for a lead lap spot.
Yeah, so he might like to see another caution come out real quick, just so he can be behind all the regular guys. And
Yeah.
I mean, we're under 30 laps to go, so we're getting close to the finish. Everybody is going to be on go. Nobody's going to make it easy for anybody here, I would expect. Not if they think they have a car to finish better than where they're at.
Heck, I mean, we've seen the racing early on in the race for position on these restarts be wild. So, I mean, it's going to be fun with, looks like about 27 laps to go right now. So about 24, 25 laps to go when we go back racing. It's going to be exciting for us, but heart-pounding for these guys in the car.
No doubt. Heck, if it's a great race up front, it might be heart-pounding for all of us.
That's where it gets dangerous for the leaders. Is you said it earlier, when you go to that bottom, there's always a chance of that car, if you slip up, of washing up into the car above you. So, I mean, you can have a 1-2 like this who have been 1 and 2 the entire race. At the end of the race, not even be there because they race each other hard and end up wrecking sometimes. I'm not saying that's what these two will do, but that's always a possibility when you're racing hard at the end of one of these races. So you always try to have a clean race for the lead because you never want to wreck both. You don't want to wreck each other out trying to win.
Yeah, and I mean, seriously.
And they're 3 wide. Sorry to cut you off. And the 9 car is around into the wall, and they're going to continue to wreck. Caution's going to come out. And there is that caution that we hinted towards happening when these guys race hard for position as that green flag drops.
Well, we knew it was coming. It's going to happen again, I think. They got to go. This is go time.
Ooh, that's interesting. Did the
that
9
looked like
get
that
loose?
was net code. That looked like net code.
I don't know. I think the 9 just got loose, but you could be right. Let's check it out. Go over to 9 here. Cody Pinnell. Three wide, not something you want to be. Close call between him and the 17. Oh, yep. Net code for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say it kind of looked like that from that distance shot, but I wasn't quite sure because we weren't close in. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Contact for Josh Oswald, Sam Wetstein, Jeremy Burrell. Drivers having great races after not so great starting position. Now going to have to go down and get that fast repair. And not only is Michael Swink going to be able to gain some spots or, you know, kind of start behind other lead lap cars with that caution coming out, he's going to gain some spots from drivers having to get repairs. He's up to 9th.
Yes, he is. I see there's a few guys out on in pit road. Looks like Josh Oswald probably could have fixed his damage.
I have to imagine all these drivers down pit road just going to get a quick repair if they have one left.
Yeah, Sam Wetstein. Well, who knows? Maybe some of them found that they were going to be a little short on gas. Or they didn't want to have to worry about it and just came in and topped off. I was kind of surprised to see some of them come in.
So unfortunately for Jeremy Brault, who was having a nice race, he's stuck down pit road right now and a lap down now. As we now sit with 12 cars on the lead lap. Well, every single restart, every single caution that we get, that's just going to create even more of more and more chaos and anxiety for these drivers.
Oh, yeah. And then I think we're going to see some tempers get riled here. This is going to be interesting to see how this comes to an end. 15 laps to go.
Green flag is out.
Or 20
Great.
laps,
Great jump there for the 18. Keeps Donald Clark out in the lead. The racing continues behind them. That is for the 9th position. Actually, okay. I was trying to see if maybe that was a lap down car in between. But there's Michael Swink on the inside in 11th. He's running the apron right now. He's going to fall back to 12th. Last spot on the lead lap.
Yeah, that apron was not the place to go. I wonder if he got loose while he was doing it or something.
18, now 17 laps to go for Donald Clark to win this one. Can he hold on over Jason Warren? These two have been racing it out all race long so far, and I don't think that's going to stop with the remaining 16 laps. I think really right now the battle, other than the battle for the lead, is just on for who's going to finish in that last podium spot, because unless, of course, they get together, it looks like we already know who are going to be our 1 and 2 finishers, just in what order.
Yeah, I mean, because Jason's going to have to start pushing. He's there. He's going to have to start going now. We're getting right down to the very end.
Yeah, Jason Warren, just like he has been all race long, is there, but, I mean, just it's so tough to make a pass, and it's proven. I mean, Jason Warren, 4 wins on the season, has won every single race to start the season, and he's just not been able to make the pass, and that just shows how tough this racetrack is. Oh, Donald Clark got a little tight, but he didn't get in the wall, so Jason Warren not going to get that mistake he was looking for from Donald Clark, but maybe that opens the door for the inside. It does not, as Donald Clark clears back into the lead. And I mean, he's there, but he's going to have to make a pretty wild move to try to take this lead away unless Donald Clark makes a mistake. Down to the inside, come to 10 laps to go. Donald Clark led every lap so far, looking to lead the last 10 of them. As they continue to battle behind them as well. That's for 4th. Elliott Longenecker in that 4th position. Cody Pinnell behind him, and Shannon Wilder moving to the bottom. He's not able to make that pass. as Jason Warren continues to hound on the back bumper of Donald Clark with
Oh, and we
8
got a
laps to
spinner.
go. As Jason Warren, I think he knows that. He's going to dive to the inside just to maybe even try to be ahead of Donald Clark if the caution comes out. But no caution, so they continue with 7 to go.
Yeah, I was thinking there might be a caution because that guy got really sideways.
Honestly, I'm glad no caution came out, and I'm enjoying this race for the lead with 6 laps to go. Jason Warren doing everything he can to try to get this victory, make it 5 in a row to start the season, but his teammate stands in the way.
Down to the nitty gritty. Will this lap car come into question here?
Question. Yeah, I think that's Frank Barbary. It is.
Yeah, number 29, Frank Barbary.
If he gets out of the way, he does. He moves to the bottom, and, well, they're going to be going to the top, so that's a great place to be. But Jason Warren, you got to imagine we're going to see that car on the bottom a lot over the next 3 laps, just trying to make up any time he can to try to get side by side with Donald Clark. Just seems impossible right now.
Yeah, I just don't know how he's going to do it.
Down to 3 to go as they go across the start-finish line. 2 laps to go here at Irwindale Speedway. Need to get to that white flag before caution if they don't want another restart. Jason Warren maybe does want another restart. Through 3 and 4, Donald Clark to collect the white flag.
Here it comes. He's going to try it. He's got to. One more corner.
Oh, boy. You know, we're going to probably see Jason dive it down to the bottom. Doesn't want to take his teammate out or himself. So out of turn 4, Jason Warren off the bottom. Donald Clark on the top. Donald Clark wins across the start-finish line as he takes the checkered flags here at Irwindale Speedway. A great race to the end there for the lead as Bry Hubbard doesn't win, but a great race as he finished second in the B main, started 17th, finishes 3rd.
Yeah, I got to give him props. And you got to put one out for old Michael Swink, man. Coming back from 5 laps down. He started originally 13th and still finished 11th. So even after being 5 laps down, finishing 11th, I think he'll take it and call it that an okay day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if anytime you can come from 5 laps down and finish on the lead lap, I don't care what position it is, that is an impressive race. But speaking of impressive, Donald Clark leads every single lap of this 125-lap race to seal the victory as Jason Warren made a late push, but just wasn't enough.
Well, we just saw a great race. That was pretty amazing. Less than 1/10 of a second. Jason Warren 0.099 behind.
Yeah, you always love to see a finish like that, especially when you had a good amount of green flag laps leading up to it. You know, sometimes you'll see a finish like that off of a restart, but that was off of, 20 or more laps of racing. So what a great finish here at Irwindale Speedway between mates. And now we're going to go ahead and get them in here one by one, starting with winner Donald Clark. Hey, Donald, Zach, and Jeff in the booth. You got a copy?
How much is that?
Well, man, fantastic victory. First of all, congrats. And I got to ask you, first of all, when you took the lead off the initial start of the race, obviously there's 124 laps to go, so you can't just know that you're going to win. But did you feel good after taking that lead away from Jason Warren, knowing how tough it was to pass here?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I knew it was going to take control on the restarts there. And honestly, starting on the outside on that initial start was to my benefit, so that really helped us.
Did you think Jason was kind of going to bump you out of the way there at the end, or were you pretty sure he was just going to try to pass you low?
Well, I figured he might have used the bumper a little bit, but Jason, he races super clean, so I wasn't too much worried about it.
Yeah, you guys put on a great show tonight. It was great having you back. Hope to see you coming again. You planning on running some more races with us?
Yeah, I'm gonna run some more with y'all this year.
Well, awesome. We'll look forward to having you here. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, all my 09 Motorsports guys, they put a lot of hours in these cars. Car was really good tonight. I made an adjustment before the race started, which I was super tight. If we would have had long green runs, I would have been really good. But the cautions just made my car tight. But just all my teammates, Jason, he put a lot of time into this setup. Kyle, he loaded his wrong setup in. He had qualifying setup, so he was out from the start. All my support group, my wife, my kids, Cheyenne, Shaylin, Belle, Brooks, just everybody for supporting me to do what I love to do here. And I appreciate you guys putting this deal on too.
Well,
Congrats.
man, yeah, I mean, to lead, oh, it looks like Jeremy Relt, I guess, led one lap. I don't know how that is, but hey, you led 124 laps, I guess, somehow. But great race tonight. Look forward to having you in the future.
Thank you guys.
Was there a time where I'm confused?
Yeah, I don't recall Jeremy leading. I know he was up there towards the beginning, but I don't recall him leading a lap.
Yeah, Donald Clark took the lead immediately, and yeah, so that might just be a glitch in the system. But 124, 125, who cares? He led a whole bunch of laps and, and won the race. Impressive.
Yeah, he gave him all the smackdown tonight.
We're going to move on now to second place finisher and his teammate Jason Warren. Hey, Jason, Zach, and Jeff in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas?
Well, man, great race. Obviously, it just looked annoying to be behind somebody tonight, and that's what you were with Donald Clark all night long. You were there, just really tough place to make a pass. He said, Donald said that he had the advantage of starting on the outside of the initial start, where you have to go on the iRacing green flag, and then ultimately that kept him out front. Is that where you really think you lost the race? Is one originally when you gave up the lead?
I mean, normally you're excited to start on the pole, and you know, if the initial start didn't start on the green flag, it'd have been fine. But on those really cold tires, immediately having to go down the bottom is really sketchy. And I knew as soon as he got in front of me, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, man, good to see you, Jason. That was some great racing. I was sitting there waiting for you to make the move and make the move and make the move, but they all just kept coming up just a little bit short. That bottom line was not helping you out, huh?
That last lap, I ran 3 and 4 about as good in these cars as you humanly can, if I can talk. But got side by side with him and came just 3/4 of a car length short. And great race though.
Yeah, you almost got there, man. I was thinking when I first saw you going down low, everybody that we saw tonight was like very heavy on the brakes, and they were not getting the run out, and they lost space on there. But you had that last run, and it was coming up. It looked good, but he just had that high line run that he had, and was able to hold you off. But it was certainly exciting watching you out there tonight, man. You had 4 in a row. I guess you're gonna have to start that trend all over again, huh?
We're just gonna have to win out, and that's just there.
Well, congratulations, man. Any shout out?
Like uh, Donald 09 Motorsports, Daniel Pope for always making these great setups, Oswald and Mesa, and for this league. And I like to give a huge shout out. He's like the unspoken one in this league. Aaron Ward. He does like several, probably 7 or 8 practices a week. He does a lot for this league, probably just as much, if not more, than a lot of the other guys in the league do as far as setting up practices. He's there to always answer questions, do this or do whatever. So a big shout out to him. Big shout out to you guys for doing another amazing broadcast. That's about it.
All right. Well, congrats on the second place finish tonight. I know you wanted to make it 5 in a row, but great start to the season, and your worst finish so far is second. So that's a great start, and looking forward to talking to you in the future.
All right, take it easy, bud.
Yep, take it easy, man.
See you, man.
I mean, that's incredible to say your lowest finish of the season in 5 races is second. That shows you've had an impressive start to the season. Sure.
Yeah, I mean his average finish has got to be like a 1.2 now.
1.2, yeah, if that could be a stat, I imagine it would 1.2, 1.5, whatever. But
Yep.
nonetheless, great finish for him, finishing second. Now we're going to go to our third place finisher, and really most impressive drive of the night for me, other than, he started this one in 17th and finished third. We had Logan Sturgeon, who started 19th and finished 8th, but still, Fry Hubbard, our biggest mover of the night, finishing in that third spot. We're going to get him in here.
That was impressive. Looking forward to talking to him.
Hey, Fry, Zach and Jeff in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, man, Donald Clark, it's impressive that he led every lap and won, but we were really impressed with you tonight, starting in the 17th position and come all the way back to finish third, I think, about, 20 laps in. It caught me off guard. You were already 7th, up 10 spots. Take us through how your race went.
I got a bad qualifying there. Me and Sam, we had a great heat race. That kind of set me up for the race, and just got to thank Elliot. Man, he gave me a great setup tonight, and car was good.
Yeah, I don't know why it would be surprising that you would be up there in the top 5, but just from where you started, how it was with the heat race and everything, man, congratulations on getting up there and getting on that podium. That was a yeoman's effort right there. You did great.
Appreciate that, Jeff. Yeah, tonight I got to say thanks to Jeff or Elliot for that one. I mean, it was a hell of a setup he gave me.
Yeah, it seemed to work really good. You were able to get through. Were you finding that your car seemed to hold better on that middle line compared to other people and getting down a little bit lower? Because that seemed to be how you were passing a lot of people.
Yeah, that middle lane seemed to work for me. It seemed the only thing I didn't like about it, I think I could have got more speed onto it, but I mean, it is what it is. I was pegging her out. I was on the red line going down the back stretch and the front stretch, but uh, it's a really good set and had a lot of fun to that.
Well, congratulations again. Do you have any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I gotta just thank Josh Osgood. I mean,
Oh, it's
Josh
good.
Oswald for the lead, man. He does a great job with also in the original Rebels racing lead. You guys up there in the booth, y'all do a great job, man.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a great run from you. Again, congrats on the great run getting into the podium position, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
All right, thanks, Zach. Thanks, Jeff. Y'all have a good
All
night.
right, man. You have a great night.
All right. An impressive run by him. Great run from our top 3 and everybody else in the field. And, well, you've had a chance to look at the results. I'll keep them up there. And while I do, I'll send it over to you, Jeff, for final thoughts on tonight's race.
Well, it was definitely kind of what we were looking at when we came into it. We kind of saw that there was going to be a high line, and that was going to be the dominating one here at Irwindale. That's kind of how it's always been talked about. That's kind of what we were seeing in practice. So the race playing out that way, kind of what we expected. However, there was some things within the race that were not quite as expected. I think Fry Hubbard was a shocker to us all, being able to come up through the field like that, which he's a great racer. It really shouldn't surprise us, but just with as hard as it can be to pass on this kind of track, he made it look easy in some cases. The guys just did a great night. Congratulations to Donald Clark. He's back and going to give Jason some work to try to get another win in this series.
Oh, yeah. He's always going to add competition. Our season champion before, so he's going to be there up front every single race. It's just a tough night, a tough track for Jason to lose the lead on the start of the race. Maybe other tracks he could have made the pass with what looked like a faster car, but this is just one of the few tracks that you go to that are really hard. And, well, I mean, a track that you can make a pass on the inside next week is Martinsville, as we head there for the Modified Series and the Super Late Model Series. Be sure to tune in for that. Going to be a good one. I love that racetrack, and probably the one I'm looking forward to the most out of the NASCAR tracks that we're visiting for the next 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Martinsville too. I was thinking about breaking out the old late or not late model, but modified myself and get some dust off that thing and maybe race it next Wednesday.
Hey man,
at Martinsville.
it'd be great to see you out there. So hey, if you want to find out if Jeff Paisley runs in the modified series, make sure to tune in next Wednesday night for that. But for tonight, here from Irwindale Speedway, been Zach Wetstein, Jeff Paisley in the booth from Rebels Racing Network. Have a good night.
Good night.